Good now, whenever and wherever this finds you. This is the 8th video of 8 videos. In 2019 in Dallas, Texas, they had an event called America in One Room. And this video is about a Zoom call of those participants, some of those participants, 7 months into the pandemic. So their focus is on, should vaccines be mandatory and should wearing masks be mandatory? So there's a wide variety of ideas, so let's get to it.
Nobody wants to be the canary in the coal mine, but somebody's going to have to be first.
You can't bully somebody into taking a vaccination.
When you take the triggers for partisan tribalism out of the conversation and just talk about the issues, it removes a lot of the poison.
They were wary when they came. Talking about politics?
We've brought them from all over the country. People from all walks of life, all political perspectives.
You are surrendering 4 days of your life to what we think is going to be an extremely important exercise in American democracy.
America in One Room brings a scientific sample of the nation to a single place where they can talk to each other in a civil manner.
We've got enough people.
People were lynched here. We're closer than you would at first think.
We don't have to settle for the half-dead democracy that we have.
A lot harder to hate in person.
Hello, everyone. This is an opportunity for everyone to learn from each other, and I encourage everyone to speak openly and freely.
COVID vaccines should be mandatory. I want school children vaccinated so they don't infect each other.
You can't bully somebody into taking a vaccination, and I think that's what this will turn into.
I'm all for vaccines normally, but all the other vaccines that we're always talking about have had 4+ years to be developed, extensively researched, and the COVID vaccine, there's been obviously and understandably a lot of pressure to develop the vaccines a lot faster. If it's not safe and it's not efficacious, then I don't think that we should all be getting in line to get it.
I'm holding back on this one too, and I'm in the high-risk group because I'm older than dirt.
Individuals are going to have to decide what the risk versus the reward is for their individual circumstance.
Nobody wants to be the canary in the coal mine, but somebody's going to have to be first.
I'll probably be one of the first. Fortunate, unfortunate. Yeah, I have high-risk in-laws that I see on a pretty regular basis. I have a 1.5-year-old at home. I can't get any of them sick. It's the responsibility I have as both as a citizen and a family member to protect everybody else if I can. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
David, would you mind reading the next proposal for us?
The federal government should make it mandatory to wear face masks when outside. Masks protect the wearer as well as those around them, reducing spread by asymptomatic carriers. Mandatory masks, some argue, violate civil rights.
Thank you, David.
And I'll make an editorial comment and say, not speeding on the highway, one could argue, is a violation of civil rights, but you have to trade that off against the public good.
Everybody wants their freedom, and that's what we're a country of, allowed to make our own decisions. But I think sometimes we don't know better, and there are people that do.
It's mind-blowing. I feel like a crazy person wearing a mask in public when I'm surrounded by everybody who thinks that this is a hoax and that we need to move on with our life.
I live in a very Republican rural area. I wear a mask, and I think other people should as well. And a good friend of mine died recently from COVID. His wife is a nurse who came out of retirement just to help with this, and she brought it home to him, and he ended up passing from it. And the worst thing is for the most part, he had to suffer through this horrible death by himself. That's as close as I've gotten to it, but that's close enough for me.
Everybody should wear a mask. But I don't think it's a federal issue. But I think the state's leadership need to be smart.
Well, it's certainly not a disease that stops at political or geographical boundaries.
To politicize it makes no sense whatsoever.
We think that we are in America riven by these great divisions, but in fact, the public is much more open to discussion.
As we became more educated on the topic, we became more moderate and less polarized.
The more educated we are, the more opportunity we have to sit down and recognize each other's commonalities.
Yeah, I agree with you, Barry.
We all get together and talk. We do get along.
Well, as you know, it was politicized, and these issues that they were talking about 7 months into the pandemic, we're still talking about it, and we're no closer to an answer now than we were then. This doesn't seem to be as much of a deliberative polling as it was just a get-together and a chance to practice discussing issues on Zoom, and looked like everybody had a good time. And so I hope you had a good time, and I thank you for watching this video, and hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you down the road.